People are acting like they're stuck in the past. Your grandparents, my grandparents, did not fight for us to be here and whine. Okay? They did not die for the freedoms we now have. Women of color especially. I mean, I'm Native and Black and a female. If anyone can claim oppression, it should be me. If I'm going to parlay the game into racial politics and identity, gender identity and race identity politics, if I was going to play that game, I'd be the first one to be able to kowtow along with the rest of them. But I don't, because first of all, nobody wins when I keep trying to say I'm enslaved and I'm a victim. Nobody wins, especially not me. If you keep crying victim, you keep saying, okay, there's a reason for you to hate me, then guess what? It's going to show up. If I keep making up reasons to be hated and held down and not being held accountable for my own life, if I don't take responsibility for my own life, it's very easy to put the blame on somebody else. Thank you, but you don't whine. That's why you're so special. The grievance industry is lucrative. That's right. Gender politics. I mean, I don't vote with my vagina. I don't vote with my skin tone. I vote with this and this. My spirit, my heart. I listen to my value system, and that's how I vote. Awesome. Identity politics are an aberration of Marxist communists. They're an aberration of all sorts of, like you said, Marxists, communism, socialism. Just look at the history books, and look at the sci-fi books. Our Orwell's 1984. I grew up reading a lot of sci-fi. I watch a lot of sci-fi. They always have the dystopian future. It looks like this. Not totally, but it sounds like this. This is how it starts, okay? First they erase history, then they rewrite history, then they erase your language. You're not allowed to say certain things. So now you have to speak a certain way. Now suddenly free speech is not so free. They'll say on the books, oh yeah, free speech is free, except for hate speech, except for this speech, except for that speech. Then they're going to start editing our movies, our TV, our comedy. They start editing what can be talked about, what can be laughed about. Suddenly you're in an oppressive, suppressive atmosphere, and you're not allowed to say what you feel or think or believe anymore unless it cows down to what everyone else is telling you to believe. That's how it starts. That's how Nazism started, folks. That's how Hitler did his bidding. He controlled the Jews. He controlled the Germans. He started slow. People are saying Trump is Hitler. I'm like, are you serious? Hitler killed 6 million Jews. Are you serious right now? It starts to become the end of the world when people can't speak up and say the opposite. And it will always be somebody saying, you can't say that because it offends me. That's how it starts. So tearing down the statues is not the real thing to do, is not the right way to go about this. It's not the right focus. If you're going to put all your energy together, I'm talking to Black people, Latinos, I'm talking to white people, I'm talking to all people, Americans. I get it that you're pissed. I understand you're angry, but that doesn't make it right to start destroying the monuments. That's not going to erase slavery. And don't give me this, feed me this story that people are looking at these racist things and they're feeling the racism. You don't speak for all people. First of all, there's a lot of Black people in the South who fought on the Confederate side. And that's part of their history. And they waved the Confederate flag, and it doesn't mean racism to them. It's a different culture. You guys, if you're not in the South, you don't understand the culture. I don't claim to understand it. I talk to Southerners all the time. I have a lot of fans. Just met some friends from Tennessee. She's Indian, speaks with a Southern accent, married to a white guy. We were talking politics, and I said, where are you on the spectrum? She says, I'm non-denominational, which I thought was great. So she's neither Democrat or Republican, but she's against them knocking down these statues. She's like, that's stupid. She's like, you know what I do? I fight human trafficking. I was like, wow, there's where to put your money where your mouth is. If you're really upset, you need to find a solution. You need to find something else to focus on, and you need to put your energy towards that. Okay, that's the only way we're going to heal. It's the only way we're going to get things done. I'm not saying you can't be mad and be angry. Go ahead, but funnel that anger towards real life solutions. Do something about it. Don't try to prove my Blackness. I don't care. I'm half Black, half white, Native American mixed in there. The white is Italian. I'm not trying to be anybody I'm not. I wear my hair natural, not because I'm a woke sister or I'm trying to fight the power, because it's my natural hair texture. There is no identity politics here, okay? I am what I am, and I'm also not in denial of what I am. I'm not in denial that racism exists, but I'll tell you one thing, the prejudice I felt mostly is from the Black community because I'm conservative. That's the biggest racism I felt, prejudice, if you will. and people calling me a coon and all these things. I talked about, you got to get rid of these hyphens. We are Americans. When I go overseas, people don't say, oh, you're Black American. They say you're American. You're the American singer. These hyphens got to go. I think we need to stop focusing on it. We need to pay as little attention to race as we do to the clothes we wear, because that's how important it is in the end of the day. Culture is very important, but we're talking about race. This is not culture. You know, each state has a culture. Like Chicago's got their own culture, even amongst Black people. Like someone who's Black from Chicago is going to have a different culture than someone who's Black from LA. And you can't compare the same things. But to just be like, oh, all Black people think the same is already demeaning and racist. Come on. All white people think the same? Of course not. Someone who's from Kentucky who's white is going to have a different culture than someone who's from New York who's white. Yes, culture differences exist. But race, we're all humans. And the less we pay attention to this race, this whole race baiting thing that's going on out there, the better we're going to be. I truly believe that. I tweet to these people and let them know, let your voice be heard, that you'd like me to come on more, that you'd like to hear me more, because I think it's important. And you know, if you like what I say, that's how we get the word out.